disturbing, the way things are going, policing, insecurity, the relationship between the police and the citizens, the deficit in trust or trust deficit. The citizens are alienated from the police, and the police don't seem to satisfy the yearnings of security, the yearnings of the citizens. It's very challenging. You ask, why is this problem still persisting? You say, you cannot give what you don't have. Policing today is not anchored on the principle of and practice of democratic policing. It has been proven by police experts that policing in any country is based on the type of government in that country. But today, Nigerian police force and security agencies, they are policing, the principle of policing, or the framework of policing is based on colonial and militarized policing combined. You know, colonial masters came here, the government was imposed on the people. And they were concerned only, the police that was established then were just concerned about to protect the interest of the British or colonial masters' interests, the colonial interest, British interests. And that's why the police were trained in such a way that they were oriented in such a way that they are there to protect the regime of the colonial masters, not to protect the interests of the people, as enshrined in Section 14B of the Constitution. And then, when we not too long got independent, the military came on board. The military also have their method of operation. Military operations is based on force, that we now also imbibe militarized policing, ruling by decree. Sometimes police were compelled to enforce unpalatable laws that are not citizens friendly, and that end the police the animosity from the public. The colonial policing and the military policing, which has now been imbibed, we have now snowballed to a democratic dispensation. The policing framework now should be democratic policing. Democratic policing is policing the people and policing in conformity with democratic norms and values. But now we are using militarized policing and local regime protection. The police is service-oriented. The police is there to serve the people in line with Section 14B of the Constitution. That's what the police meant. And then again, the police need to be empowered. It's the type of internal security, the principal interpretation of internal security. But the police have systematically been destroyed in this country. The government contributes to that destruction. The citizens also contribute to that destruction. Even the police themselves have a contributing factor to that destruction. Because the leadership of the police have not stood up to say, this is what we stand for. We need to sometimes assert yourself and say, this is what I stand for, that way I can resign. Because that's integrity. I know it's not easy in this country. We'll say, oh, if you come with policies and strategies where you're not welcome by government, or you're not being encouraged with that, if you believe that you cannot have the courage to do that. But we should stand up for what we believe is right and is right. We should stand up for that. So, a lot of factors are responsible. One, training is lacking. And that training in the fact that the police are not properly funded, and without training is capital intensive, training the police in line with democratic norms and values. We imbibe the culture of protection of human rights, enforcement of human rights, policing based on needs of the people, and policing to ensure a way that they will be friendly. The people will see them as they are there to serve them, not there to be extorted or brutalized. Again, the citizens themselves also contribute to this action because it takes two to tangle. Life is based on the principle of reciprocity. The police are not being welcome in this country. The police are seen as lepers. In fact, this country, the institutions that are holding this country today is the police and the military. If the way police is going, it's being recognized and being neglected, it will go to a stage where this country will collapse. If we fix the police, we fix this country. The stability of this country is the police and the military that actually make this country to be what they are today. And when they try to, like I said, I hope the government don't make that mistake to go and privatize policing, like I say, institutional policing. Because if you do that, they'll have the end of this country. So, policing is service-oriented. So there are many factors that are responsible for this. One, the citizens themselves don't appreciate the police. The Section 24E says, BE of the Constitution provides that it's constitutional duty to every Nigerian citizen to assist agencies of internal law and order. Are the people, are they willing to assist the police You assist the police with information, and we see the police support and encourage them. You see, the Moro Dicos created something in London. It was a safe, because a woman saw through the window and called the security agency. And that was how Moro Dico was rescued. But here, can you see that when you unpack to the police? That because they don't have that trust, they don't have, and this trust is misconception. Not every policeman is not to be trusted. Like every among the 12 disciples, there was a Judas. In the Nigerian society, there are good men and bad men, and bad men and bad women. There are good police officers, there are good, also bad police officers. But what we should do, if we keep on robust training in line with democratic policing and democratic principles and practice of democratic policing, for them to imbibe in a democracy now, then the police cannot be changed attitude. But now, insofar as we are there out, we have this, the policing style of regime protection, in which was carried from the colonial to new colonial to today's democracy, is what the police is still acting on. We need to reorientate our mentality, the police orientation. Because now it is the citizens, we and they. The police, Nigerian police for Nigerians. They are all Nigerian police to save Nigerian, to make Nigerian safe and secure. And the prime beneficiary of safe and secure of good policing are the citizens. I trained SARS personnel in Police College Ikeja. You know, I've also been training, carrying out police tracing. Like 2015, I did training for 1,500 police officers across the country in 6 geopolitical police zones. And one of the programs we do is human rights protection, human rights enforcement, human rights education. It's very key because that is the basis of policing. You are dealing with human beings. You see, the point is that I went to my policeman when I was in the force, when I was CPFC, said, policing is service oriented. It is void to give render service, and you're not policing human. You're policing human beings, not wood or animals. You have to be human touch and the fear of God. That is the principle. So democratic policing is all anchored on moral principles. That's what it is about. The empathy, compassion, what you want to. I like to tell my officers, I used to say, command, I said, as you want your brother and sister to be policed in your village, that's how you have to police people well in your CP. If you don't want your brother to be brutalized, you want your brothers to be extorted, you don't do it in FCT. And I do that, and I made that is enforced. I make sure that is enforced. So the point is that the leadership of the police force should reorientate the police officers. From the top to the lowest, they need orientation. Not everything. Some police service oriented, money. The way we are up a match with materialism and corruption, we cannot render service. We cannot render good service, and that because because the police is a micro unit of the macro Nigerian society. So what is prevalent in Nigerian society is also permitted in the micro unit which is Nigerian police. So what is Nigerian policemen are not foreigners. They are Nigerians. All these attitude and characters, attitude and behaviors have been imbibed from the Nigerian society. Our society is so corrupt. Our society is not service-oriented. Nigerian society, we're all concerned about our right. Nobody concerned about how to render service. Life is all about service. You and I in this room now, we're enjoying free oxygen, free sunshine, free rain, free life, free world. What are we giving back to creation? What are we giving back to creation? How are we adding value to creation? Our leaders are all there to extort the people, to exploit the people, and to impoverish the people. They are not leadership is all about how to empower the people, to render service, to add value to the life of the people. That's what the leadership is all about. But today in this country, we're all concerned about at all levels. This is at all levels. We're concerned how to mass. Look at now today. Today is October 2020. Politicians are all concerned about 2023. Nobody concerned about governance. Let's 2014 be taught about the welfare. Welfare is employment, job creation, wealth creation, infrastructural development, even moral and the development of the people. Because the moral character building is important. Now, Nigeria, rather than being united, we are being fragmented into various segments, into ethnic basis, religious basis, political basis, and so forth. All the money wanted how to grab. Corruption is now like a thing of it is unfortunate. So it's very, very unfortunate. I know the government is trying, but I think they need to do more. The military and the police are doing that. They need to do more. They need to do more. They can only do more when they are being empowered. When they are being empowered. And again, I want to advise that the military we should not over-militarize policing and law enforcement. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Because one, the citizen himself will imbibe militarized culture. What, for instance, that started happening. Well, let the Okada man have an accident with anybody. They mobilize and attack the person, even burn his car. They don't believe in reconciliation. They don't believe in finding problem-solving approach to issues. Just using force. Force is not the only way out. Force is not the best way to handle problems. Right? So I think the government should be conscious of the fact that the police is key and central. If you don't fix the police, you cannot fix Nigeria. You see, the police are supposed to be the moral compass of society.
Exactly.
That's what it's supposed to be. A police officer should have that moral attitude, trustworthy character, and he should have empathy and compassion, and to be able to assert himself and stand for what is right. But it is not so in the country, because the police it is political, unnecessary, undue political control. Also, like I said, the system itself, the society itself has actually destroyed the police values. No more discipline as it ought to be. No more effective supervision as it ought to be. The police are not well funded, not well trained. An untrained policeman is a threat to society, a threat to the institution. It brings shame to the institution, like it's happening. So, when you ask how the way forward, I don't believe in blame. I believe in problem-solving approach to issues. This thing affects all of us: the government, the citizens, the police themselves, and other security agencies. So we ought to be involved. Like I said earlier, Section 24E of the Constitution. If you just oppose to the 24E and Section 14B, you know that security and policing is a collective responsibility. Law enforcement, maintain law and order. Now the government should have the political will to say we must fix the police. If Mr. President can do that alone for this country, in fact, I think he has succeeded. If he can fix the police, other mantra will be achieved. Corruption, security will be achieved. That is key and central. If he fix the police, Mr. President can say, these many years I have before 2023, I must fix the police. That's one of his cardinal points, and make sure that all institutions, everybody keys to that agenda. I think Nigeria things will change in this country. But so far, Nigeria police has been neglected. The Department of Internal Security, the Leadership of Internal Security is being neglected. To other supportive route, they only just dance around the corner. Nothing will happen. So until when the police is fixed, I want to appeal to Mr. President. Let him as a cardinal point. As the last point, that point was in these many years. Fix the police. Let him take a meeting, make sure to fix the police. Not plain politics, not cosmetic police reform, concrete reform that will actually impact on all the people. Policing based on consent. Like I said, the people now, that trust deficit is there, very glaring. It's a notorious fact. So the police management themselves, what are they doing? What lesson have they learned for NSAS? What lesson would the government, Nigerian government, learn from NSAS? What lesson would the children learn from NSAS? Look at how the police stations, policemen are being attacked, policemen are being vandalized and attacked, arson, they're being burned and so forth. Why is it happening? Why is it happening? Have we reflected to see that? What lesson have we learned? What do we do? What has happened since then? Not force. Force cannot bring everything. You are applied for it is necessary, yes. But sometimes dialogue. Again, like I said, training. One thing that is actually lacking in the police, that is effective supervision, is no longer there. I move around and I see. Sometimes I accost policemen. I accost them when I meet them. Training the police, and you don't know how many types of uniform the police has now. When I was before, we have a dress code in line with the first orders. But I don't know now, you don't know multiple uniforms, you can't even say when I ask them, which unit are you? I ask them. It has been bastardized. This issue of supervision. Supervision is key and central in policing and law enforcement. When I did the project, they have not imbibed the rules of engagement. When they force the police, before you are posted up for a duty, you must what they call daily or instructions. You must be read and told what and what to do. This is not happening. From their home, policemen from their home, they go to their beat. How do you know what to do? Because you need to internalize institutional values and policies. Internalize them for you to be able to enforce them, to act in line with institutional values. So the government has a role. The Nigerian government should develop political power. I want to enjoy Mr. President. Let him make fixing police as its cardinal point now. If fixing police cardinal point, corruption will be taken care of. And then again, of course, we talk about welfare. Welfare is not just giving people 20,000. going to give them 20,000. No, you need, the Chinese says, teach me how to fish and not to give me fish. How to empower the people so they become productive. But they become productive. You're giving them, making them parasitic, promoting parasitic culture. Make them to be productive. They can sustain they can add value to their life and even in the job creation and wealth creation.